I can hear you now. Yeah, perfect.
Yo, yo, Zix
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
main.
bro.
Wow,
Yeah,
it looks amazing. Where are you at
God.
home?
Yeah, bro. I
Amazing.
already have some good background.
Nice, nice. Welcome to the Magic of Production, bro.
Oh yeah,
Happy to have you.
can't wait, bro, on this
So,
journey.
yeah, it's crazy. I was just like thinking now, just before I called you. So, you are my first actually ever student from the Magic of Production from India, right?
Yeah.
So when this started, can you remind me, bro? I'm like lost of so many students. Do you remember how everything started?
When you were a superstar, somebody told me about
When I
about
was a
DJ Lion
super,
the superstar.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, yeah, please. 100% honest.
Yeah, bro. So that's when, a lot of people told me because, like when I was younger, like I used to go, like, back then there was not much technology and I really wanted to learn. So I like, I knew Tarun, like Boom Baba and Kamchor. So I used to like really, Tarun especially was the guy where I used to really go to his house, where I can learn everything because he was doing music for movies. And yeah, that is the time he told me, he's like, man, you really want to learn, you got to meet my friend Lion, like hit him up. So then that's the time when I wrote to you about it.
Arun, wow, he's a legendary psytrance producer from Goa.
Yeah, yeah. So I really looked up to him because, I like love this whole geeky factor. And then yeah, I guess that was pretty much the start of the journey, for me.
Yeah, so I
I guess.
remember, yeah. And then we met and we started. And then after our like long journey of months of then you signed for Still
Mhm.
for Talent for Oliver Koletzki.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
This is
of
the
course.
first ever time Indian artist signing for this level of Berlin record label in this style, right?
Yeah, but for me, really, it was more just like, I always had this thirst for knowledge. I mean, that of course helps with gigs and stuff, but really it was about learning, the whole process.
Yeah, yeah, of course. But it's you achieved
Yeah,
approval
yeah.
from the top with your
Yeah,
first early productions.
yeah, no, just a lot of support from friends, because I always had this whole attitude of learning, like actually even that story is funny, it's like you never know what happens, like just some skills, you always jam and something comes out, I
And
guess.
when was this? Like,
This was, I don't even remember. I have actually two releases on
no,
Stillwater,
I mean when we met
We met in 2000, 2018, 2018, I guess. 2018.
already 8 years. Wow,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Time flies, time flies.
Yeah. No, actually, even before that, 2015, I think, bro.
Yeah, it feels like
Because I
it's
was doing,
longer. Yeah.
yeah, because I was doing refresh that time. I mean, Larry was not even there.
Maybe not 10 years, but like 8, 9, something like
8 years, 9 years, yeah.
that.
Something like that, yeah.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
bro. But finally, somewhere closer to, still learning. The process is not just ended, ever. But yeah,
Nice, nice. But that would be nice now to share your screen, like, and to show some things, like with new
sure.
artists, with beginners, with intimate, with professionals, with
Okay.
like, just feel free, share something.
Okay. How do I share my screen is
Or
okay.
just a second. Yeah, you
Where
can
is
do it
it? Yeah, I
right
think
now. Yes.
sure. So I will start here from my Ableton. Okay, wait, allow. All right. So one of the things that I would want to say to somebody who's starting new, like there's a lot of history with instruments, like there is a lot of history with drum machines, and there is a lot of history with like like different VSTs and stuff, and really understanding the depth of a genre, kind of really does help you find the right sound, because everyone is like, oh, you got to pick the perfect sound, but like what is this really this perfect sound, kind of. So that is where I really understood, like, the kind of music and the like the genetics, like what you call the genetics exactly. So I mean, if you go for like, like if you see some history, like 808 is more like, if like if you're making a hip hop track, you would ideally go for a 808. If you want to make a house and a techno track, then 909 is the way. Like, so these are the core fundamental things
Genetic,
that really,
genetics,
really, yeah.
genetics of
Yeah,
identities and expectations in that communities.
yeah, because then you know exactly, like, what you're cooking and the direction that, that you want to go for. So yeah, that does really help. Just the core basics, and like, of course, understanding the basics, which I thought didn't really, I overlooked like earlier, then apparently became like the fundamentals of what it should be, and from the start, kind of, And I must say, like, I do remember, like, you, when I started learning with you, you really showed me the right process, like the whole workflow. But of course, I mean, there's so much information out there, you could get lost. So I went down this whole wormhole of, like, trying different things. And I mean, I don't regret it. I wouldn't call it a waste of time. But yeah, like, it eventually got me to the same point where we had like started our journey, again, to understand the way to work. But then again, yeah, I mean, like, it's like good to be in the rules and then find some way out of the rule. Yeah. So first, also, a lot of people, I would say, start their track with like a kick drum. A lot of people are stuck, in a loop a lot of times. And I think the main thing is because of lack of idea, really. Like, you don't know where you want to go. Like, like, people just try, like, oh, I make a kick drum, I make a bass. But as time went by, I realized that, like, nobody cares. Like, of course, the engineering of the sub has to be good, right? But then in the end, it also does matter, like, on the whole idea of the track as overall, from a musical point of view, like, so
Absolutely.
I mean, of course, genres like techno and stuff don't require this kind of thing. But the emotion that I came from, like, I was feeling it more in a more musical way, so that was one of the key things for me to understand at that moment. So yeah, so usually my process now usually starts mainly with finding the main key element, which I really think is the at the center of my production, which I try, like the hook or something like that. So see, right now, for the example, I've like found, like, I'm putting something from Splice, but I think it's a good way to dig in and really find cool samples or something, that inspires you. I mean, there are a lot of platforms now, right? That which are like, which now, besides for Splice, they have a lot of platforms like Tracklib, for example. Then there is like also a lot of people who put out their packs. But to keep in mind, really, if you want to make a real track, it's always good to work with musicians, as so you get like the core concept where, like, you have a direction to go. Because in essence of everything, as a general electronic music producer, okay, like, most of the people are not really like great musicians and great, like, we are just trying to find ways to
Taste
put
based,
things together.
taste based,
Taste based.
intuition based.
Yeah, intuition based kind of a thing, so I mean, it always does help to have some sort of direction, like, like, in the whole thing, the way we are doing. So okay, anyways, here I come from a more musical, like, I feel music in a certain way. I was in a rock band for some time, and like, the artists that influenced me were more rock than electronic in some way, and I love also a lot of world music. So that is why when Afro was really, like, something, when I heard Afro House for the first time, it did inspire me. There were some artists also that I heard live that really inspired me, like, this guy called 16-bit, and few people like Patrice Baumel, and I really understood how they can tell a story, and the kind of things they're going. So that changed my perspective towards the thing, and I felt more home with that kind of a thing. So today, when I sit to produce something, I'm more in a direction that goes in that direction, by soul. Unless I want to, like, there are different kind of music producers. Like, some people do it for being an artist, Some people do it like, like for clients and stuff. So it's always good to firstly have a reference track, like which is
Definitely.
one of the things that you taught me. And I think this is one of the most important thing that many people look over, because they, it's like, I don't know, it's like not laziness, but I don't know, it's like like usually I guess it's a more of muscle memory thing, because when people start using a laptop, they always go in
They don't control
the
their
clip view.
emotions. They go with emotions and they.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
I
this
mean,
is
it's good,
also, yeah, this is what I'm
part of it.
always
Yeah,
saying. But sometimes there are two kind of sessions. One session can be
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm inspired to create. Then I just go crazy and I don't check any reference, any numbers. I just create. And then
Mhm.
once I in a mood not to create, or maybe
Mhm.
I'm in a mood to cast that on the next
Mhm.
day fresh, then I can start casting it with the reference if it fits.
Yes.
Like would be that kind of approach, also to have a freedom, not to
Yeah.
immediately like, oh, I need to follow this reference. So this is a little bit feeling
Mhm.
like in a cage, and
Yeah.
starting with random jamming. Later
Mhm.
you start and compare, because otherwise you will be maybe disappointed afterwards.
Yeah. No, but that is where defining what you really want to do is the first step. Like the production really doesn't start on Ableton, it clearly starts in your mind of what you want, and of course, it doesn't come from nowhere, you have to have heard something that inspired you, right? That is, there's no original idea as such, everything is already done over history and,
Definitely,
so yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You catch
So,
the
I mean,
moment. It's each track, it's
yeah,
souvenir of moment of your life. You connect, you
yeah,
remember, you
yeah, of
reflect
course, but
your emotions, your whatever you
yeah.
accumulate in your real life, you kind of express through music or any kind of instrument
Mhm.
or any kind of way that it's your thing.
Mm-hmm. But there is nothing really that is really, really original that easy, I mean, we are still, we might think that there are things that are bounding us, but it's always the case, there are boundaries, and that is like one of the most important thing to understand, because
Yes.
like it is I mean, the whole thing is in that one thing, right? Food is food, and
You need to adapt
like
to be
yeah,
user friendly.
yeah, have clarity of your whole idea, and have
Because
like have a plan.
from user friendly products you became
Mm-hmm.
music lover, from sound friendly and whatever
Mm-hmm.
friendly, even tutorials friendly, podcast
Mm-hmm.
friendly information, you became who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So now when you start producing certain material, you also need to be user friendly for
Mm-hmm.
other people who you
Yes,
might be
yes.
inspiration
Yes,
for.
yes, exactly, exactly.
So
So the
go in
main point,
circuit of
yeah,
generations.
yeah. But I would say in today's fast speed market, you got to know what you want to do with your project, because it's not only, I'm sorry, I'm a bit off topic about not, we are not hitting the production right
No,
now,
no, but
but
this is
this is like
introduction. This is the most important state of mind, to
yeah,
understand things out of the box, beyond the
yeah,
studio.
beyond the box. Yeah,
Yes, to be like what is in the
yeah,
producer brain before
yeah.
even sit at the
Yeah,
on a computer or in the
on a
studio.
computer. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people have this like misconception that, oh, like if I get better with Ableton, I will be a better producer. But this is just tools. It's never the software that you are on is going to make you, learning it more is going to make you a better producer. A better producer is a one who could compose something very smartly. So you got to understand like more in context of, this is a back end research thing. It's like always a realization from listening to a track, like understanding what is a chorus, understanding what is a verse, like, these are the really at the core of what, like what is the thing,
Definitely,
like your
exactly.
process. Otherwise you are of course going to find yourself in a loop when you don't understand what elements, like for me now, I'm like the way I'm listening to tracks is different, like I usually listen to, say, I'll give you an example. Okay, yeah. So think about it, like there's a band, right? So there is first, like, if I see a like one of my favorite artists, like say like 16-bit, I studied his style of music, I listened to it. Like I always thought, like, how does the elements evolve? So usually, like in his tracks, for example, there's this guitarist in the start, who starts like a plucky instruments. Now that can be also represented in an electronic way in other plucky stuff, like apps, so you understand that each element how it
Yes.
evolves. Then there is a
In which
even those
area is
apps.
of the sound of
Yeah,
spectrum of sound, where it
yeah,
belongs, how it moves,
yes,
how are the colors,
yes,
how long is the
yes,
body, how complex
yes,
is the mutation, how complex
yeah,
is the
yeah.
harmony or whatever.
Yeah, and then you understand that there are only few parts, right, that you got to create, So, okay, let's dive into this process for now.
Get it
Yes,
fired up.
yes.
You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it.
Yeah,
You can get it when you need it.
Very nice.
Say I don't need no reason
Sexy.
just to get it fired up.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so I just found some random vocals, of
Let's
course.
dress it
No,
up, this princess. Let's prepare it.
yeah,
What?
okay,
Let's bring the environment. Let's put it on the dance floor, in the middle, on the dance floor.
yeah. Yeah, so here, as you see, before this,
How you start with kick and bass, obviously, always finding
no,
this, or you
no, no,
start
no,
first with the
no.
mid range.
I would not start with the kick right now for sure, you
Later, you
know.
will adapt to it.
Yeah, because see, I don't want to I feel like when you are sitting and when you sit to make a track, your creativity is only like going for a shorter time. Like you
Exactly.
can't really, if I'm going to sit, make the cake and everything is just going
It
to
will kick should be
yeah,
already ready,
because
calculated in all the keys
yeah,
as your identity,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
just
And
bring the
yeah,
emotion.
yeah, exactly. And I even will understand what kind of kick fits with my idea.
Nice.
Because I don't want to restrain myself from the kick. If the kick is too powerful, I'm like, going in a more powerful direction. So I let the idea kind of dictate to what it would work, the other way. So,
Yes.
anyways, yeah. So usually I start my project, like I've saved my project. It's always like a reference track. There's a kick which you will always use, a bass and a piano. And if the vocal sample is
And the
there, so
main
it's
actor, the main guest of the template
yeah,
is the idea.
yeah, yeah. The main vocal or the main element that matters is, of course, the main. What do you remember from a track, really? So it's never going to be like nobody's going to remember the kick, right? Or the hi-hat.
No.
It's not something that is a memorable part. I mean, you could mix wise make it very loud and people are like, oh yeah, bro, that track was really thumping, but it's a mixed
You need
decision.
to
It's
feel
not
something. You need to feel
yeah,
emotional.
yeah, it's not, that is later in a mixed decision and not really a idea decision, the kick, like I would say, like being like the way. So yeah, so diving into it, I have a piano loaded here. I'll be honest, I understand music, okay, but I really don't. I can't really play. I
You're not
understand
performer,
concept.
you're composer.
I'm not a performer. Yeah,
But you're a
so
composer.
I think one important thing for someone to do is really learn one scale. Okay, one or two scales which are good to learn, like just any scale. Like, see, for me, I know the F minor scale, the A minor scale, and A minor and C major scale. Okay, which are like very easy. They're all white notes when it comes to the C and the A minor.
Mhm.
And F is just something I picked up because, I was like, I just picked it up. I don't know how, like,
It
maybe
came.
over time.
Let's follow
So
it.
yeah. So now uh, this whole sample here is in a D minor.
Mhm. But
Okay.
it's in the scale.
Now it's in a D minor. Okay.
Okay.
So why am I saying this is, see, what happens is it's always a humanized thing that really helps, to create some sort of motion into your track. Otherwise, it really doesn't, sometimes you think that why is my track not feeling like it's flowing? It's because sometimes people go too robotic, because if everything is in place, it's always going to sound robotic.
Oh,
There's
yeah. Too much on
no
transient.
human.
Following the
Yeah, it's
grid.
like
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, yeah. So that is what, and it's never going to be like that when it's humans, right? So why should it be here? So what I was trying to say is there are some amazing tools in Ableton where you can like pitch, I'm guessing everybody knows how pitch works, kind of. Okay.
Audio
So this I
pitch.
will say for later. Just a general pitch
Yeah, yeah,
thing
sure.
which is available here in your MIDI. There is
Ah,
this
so
thing called
MIDI,
pitch.
you cannot put it on the audio. But this will
No,
come
I don't
this
want to put
bit
on it.
later.
This will
Yeah.
come a bit later, yeah. So okay. So here when I've started, okay, I'm going to close this piano though. Okay, wait, why is this like this? All right. Anyways, get to the point.
Okay, we
So
can
here,
move us here, for example, we can be like maybe something wrong with this. Okay.
okay. So you start first, you know that we are in a D minor. So here I would set the scale as a D
Mm-hmm.
minor, which
Mm-hmm.
applies here. And then then I would just put scale here.
Okay.
Okay. So first, a good way to do things is always find like a pedal. It's called a pedal sound. That's something that kind of leads you into stuff,
Mm-hmm.
leads you into the
Ah,
track or
yeah, you
sets
were
the
showing me that
emotion.
in Goa last time when we saw. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
amazing, yeah.
So what I would do here is I would just make them a length of like this, something like this,
Mm-hmm.
because this track is,
I don't need
and now right now let just put the volume down here.
I don't need no reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it.
Okay. So
Say
this is the first part. So you have your pedal note here. Again, I'll just increase the volume so you can hear it.
get it fired up. You
Mm-hmm.
give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it.
Okay.
You can get it when you need
To
it.
feel the root
Yeah.
of emotion.
I
No?
don't need no reason just to get it
Yeah.
fired.
See, there's always one thumb of practice. See here, I got this D minor because I saw it in Splice. But always it's a good thing to recheck, make sure that everything is right. Because sometimes you got to trust your ears, and if something doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it's
So I use
changing,
this
yeah.
plugin called Tonic. It's a very simple plugin which helps you
I don't need no reason just to get it
help the
fired up.
key, find the
You give
notes.
me that feeling
D
when you
major.
leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it.
Okay, we are in a D
You can
minor.
get it when you
Adima.
need it.
Yes.
So we have a it's a very simple plugin. It's I can maybe share a link with you for it. So we know that here we are in a D minor. Okay. So let's
Mm-hmm.
start like this. First step is you create a pedal note like this. Now it can be in the chord form, two ways of going, or it can be a long like in house music, for example, they have this long string that fills it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but just to have a clarity, we will go with this for now. Okay, so I would copy the same thing down on
Mm-hmm.
a
Lower
lower
octave.
octave. Yeah,
One octave
I
down you
don't
go.
need no reason just to
yeah.
get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it.
So here, what I do is usually I just maybe like put this a bit down the second note.
I don't need no reason just to get it
Start with the
fired up.
chord progression.
You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it.
So yeah, this is
Say
more like just like experimenting,
Yeah, but
whatever mic
I'm
is.
already feeling it. It's like already
I
this
don't
only
need no
like this
reason
can be
just
a
to
moment
get
of a
it
break in the
fired
track.
up. You give
Simple.
me that feeling
Yes.
when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need
It helps to the vocal to be even
Yeah.
stronger, emotional.
Yes. Yes. So again, I don't want to dive too deep into the music theory process, but there are some basic small rules. Always the first, the third, and the fifth are more stable sounding notes, right? They always make you feel more stable in the thing. But the second, the fourth, and the diminished one here, they feel like uncertain, or like a little bit more tension than usual. So when you listen to the track, I even feel like, look at it from, it's like more in the mind, right? Like this is what I talk about. There's no technique here or something, but like just ideas and the way of thinking, the thought process. Now, when you listen to this,
I need no reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when
Yeah,
you
now
leave me
it's
tied up. You can get it if you need it.
see this when this vocal says you can get it when you need it. I want the first time it says it, I want to create a tension, like kind of like that is that like vocally with the vocal with what it's saying, it's kind of not just like sounding good, but it's like more intentional, that you are trying to create attention in that part of the vocal. So it's always about thinking in a perspective where you create a tension and where you create like kind of a easy feel, like see, the last note should be like a resolving one, right? Like so ideally we would like pick something that resolves. This is just
mhm.
some ideas that we can experiment with. See, even here we can go like, usually it's better to do it with the bass. These are the bass notes.
This way
So
you
I
feel
would
it stronger, yeah.
yeah, so then you have a pedal note and then you can understand what is the Caesar, maybe.
I need no reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need
No,
it. You can get it when you need it.
yeah, but
Said I need no reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it.
yeah, see, this is much better.
Said
Yeah.
I need no reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it.
Yeah, I would go back to this because I feel this is more resolving.
You don't need to have four only. You can change during the arrangement, but it's all these are options.
I mean, it like I'm just like kind of like, see, that is where the what helps me decide the length of it is the vocal. If the vocals are evolving later, of course, maybe sometimes there are moments where you have to change the thing. But in this case, for example, we have only this vocal. This is the only vocal, but usually in a track there could be more vocals. So that is now something that we have to compensate with other sounds. So even what sounds you got to compensate when you think like this. Yeah. So okay, once you do this, just take this whole thing up here, okay, and you can build a basic triad, that is 135 whatever,
Mhm.
and
I need no reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it.
and of
Wow,
course here, yeah. So
amazing.
here what we would do is there's something like and more open voicing. Open voicing, what you do is you take the middle one and you just put it up like
One
this,
octave up.
one octave
The
up. It
middle
is the
one.
same thing. Yeah. And you will realize that here this one is gone in the middle. Okay.
Mhm.
Here, like this, like this. So here the trick is, now let's listen to it. Okay. Just let's hear it out.
I need no reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it.
So here when I took this up, I realized that I don't need this. Maybe you mute it because
I need no reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it.
okay. So we have this. Now this is going to be the foundation. This will give us a direction into every other sound that we are going to now pull through as different elements. So
This is
this
the
creates like
code, the emotional
this
code.
is the yeah, this is the emotional code. I mean, you can always this is just I'm doing something really fast, but if you sit with it and you
This
dig
is,
into theories,
of course.
I mean, there's a lot of things you could do still more, like kind of. there's always like, like something
Choosing the
there.
character, automations, and everything.
No,
But
no, that is the more later thing that we'll do. But here, this is going to be the core of it. So, like, say, here, let's try this.
No reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied
Like, you
up.
got to find
You
it.
can get it if you need it.
See, here, I can even try. Like, maybe see,
No reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need
maybe not. Yeah.
No reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need
Okay. We don't need this. Fine. I mean, you could get a bit carried away with this, but, I think the best is to leave it simple.
yeah. What would be the next step
All
from
right.
here?
So the next thing is now we got to create layers, right, of this whole thing. What makes this sound completely full? You know what? Here, when you use a piano, first of all, we got to understand that there are things that lie in certain frequencies which we cannot, like, which should not. Here, a piano is not a bass instrument, right? So what we do is we cut the bass off here, the low frequencies. So when we work, the next thing we would do now, we would work on the bass, because and now it also helps like to understand what direction is needed to go with the bass. You already know what you want, kind of,
No
but
reason
fine.
just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it.
I'm not so happy, but
Yeah, on the third one, it's a little bit losing the. Should be more like more powerful, more darker.
Leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it.
see again,
It's
if
not
you're lost
confident.
a bit here, yeah, see, if you're lost again, if you feel like this, okay, you don't have to get a bit confused. Just follow the same principle that you were following, like just mute this notes in the middle which you have, and
No reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it.
Yeah, the root key was the wrong.
Said I need no reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it.
I think the sun's better, right?
I would go down maybe, like darker, more character.
You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need
More dramatic, yes.
This one, G.
Yeah, keep it like this with G. Dramatic.
So then again, the same thing. You can just go up here. 2, 3.
No reason just to get it fired up.
That's not on position.
No reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it.
Yeah, much better.
You can get it when you need it.
Yeah, we get it.
Said I need no reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it.
We will get
Maybe
it.
here
You will get it.
better.
Yes.
I mean, it's good to spend some time on this because it's
It's
like
enough good to show the structure of the steps. We don't need to dig deeper. It's enough good.
Fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it. Said I need no reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it.
And then again
yeah,
down.
let's go with this.
This also is good. But I would go then, if the third one is so down, I will go again down, not up. And even more dramatic, yeah. This is too optimistic. This is too optimistic. More dramatic down.
Better?
No. Repeat the third again. That's it for now. Repeat
Sure.
the third repeat again, and that's it. Because the no. Go back the way it was, and then the fourth as the third, and that's it. Because
Yeah, we can do
this
that.
is exactly what the vocal does.
Okay.
Yeah, for now. But I would put still the chord to come 2 times.
Which one?
Yeah, the same one
This
2
one.
times. Yes, because
Yeah,
it's
that is the idea.
and that's it.
Here also, but why is it like, okay, more open voicing? Let's try one time. So, I mean, it's a little bit experimenting here with the stuff. Okay, wait, one second. Yeah,
Definitely it's fine.
okay, okay.
This is because the
I
vocal
just
is
go
repeating. But we both know that fourth should be something very special. But
See,
let's
I
go
mean,
further.
you could spend time, but then
Yes,
I would just share, there's a lot of, see, this is one of the main part. If you get this part right, everything else is a
exactly.
cakewalk,
People rush with this, and then
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is exactly.
This is the main,
So better to keep it
main.
now exactly the same and simple. Later, it's flexible to change in on.
Yeah, of course. Of course, of course. So what I use now, if you think
Bass
of bass, what would you ideally use for bass? Okay, I think I'm going to use like just Ableton stock stuff.
operator or Ableton stuff. Yeah,
I'll use the
wavetable.
wavetable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I do is exactly this. I would copy it here. Okay.
Now
Something like this.
you're layering now, putting muscles on the emotion.
Yes. So I put all of this off. So I just have
The bass,
I put,
the
this is the
roots.
bass. And this can be like just see here, I'm not even done nothing, you know? Can you hear the bass?
Yes. Move the fab filter on a little bit down. Hide the fab filter.
Yeah, one sec. I don't know why it's giving me this.
Remove it just like this. Yeah.
Okay. So you're just a simple sine wave. You can make it a bit more, like this is on taste. But I would ideally go for this more like a saw wave. And see, this tool is like this Ableton Wavetable, I think is one of the most amazing thing. It has some really power-packed stuff, So here, to keep notice, it usually comes in poly, but when you're doing a bass, you got to switch to a mono. Because now what we are working is on a bass, right?
Yes.
Just keep it simple. See here, even this is. I think for this track in particular, I think I like the sine wave more. So I'm going to stick with that. Yeah. And
Okay.
here, some of the settings when you're building the bass ideally is like turning this into a 24 more. More sharper. And it amazingly comes with all this kind of filter and filter settings. So the ideal one for the bass would be the PRD, where you can increase the drive. Now, one thing you got to also understand is a lot of gain staging part, right? Where if I put up the drive by 2 decibels, I think the best thing to do here is put the volume down by 2 decibels as well to compensate.
Mhm.
So here we have the thing. See, we already have like
We have the body, the mid-range,
yeah, but
and the sub.
people see people spend so much time, on doing this. Like it's not even
They rush. They rush
like
in shooting. This
rush.
is the most important
Yeah.
planning. It's a
So yeah. Now even if you have an idea, okay, say like you don't want to make it like in this case, what I've done is I've called this kind of a bass is called a Reese bass, where it's like more long under the thing.
it's
But
not the
you could
rhythmic one.
Yeah, but there is a lot of things that you could do which are more like it depends. Again, this is a taste thing. This is one example. You can always turn it to like, like this. Wait, hold on. Once you have this notes, then it's just magic. It's like you know exactly where you're
You
going.
have the code. You have the
Yeah.
recipe. You just
Yeah. Yeah. So you can even go this way, for example, which is like, in a lot of melodic techno tracks can be like a 16th bass, that you guys, like everybody hears, like, kind of like. But here, what you got to do? So in this case, I would say this is here and
shorten
in
the
the
body.
mid.
Yeah, with ASR.
Yeah. Yeah. But firstly, you go to the matrix, you go here. See, we want to create like a plucky kind of an effect, right? So we are going to
Movement.
send. You don't have to even touch ADSR at this one.
Yeah. You are doing it with a.
Maybe a little bit.
Tight.
So yeah, this is another option you can
Pulsing,
have.
it's pulsing with more dramatic, more it's pulsing you.
Yeah.
You know, you get more
Yeah.
punches in your body on the dance
Yeah.
floor. It's not
And we
just
can even go
sustainable, yeah.
more creative like this, like this. Like you can just, again, your scale mode is on, right? So you can always.
But now are you following the midis from the up for the
See,
short
yeah,
ones or you just go
usually it's usually it's a good, see, you're using the first, third, and the fifth in this case because we went with the triad. So we know that we can use the third and the fifth already. So you switch between the third, fifth, and an octave and see what works really for you. So this is a third. This is a fifth. So you can not just maybe like small variations always do make it a bit. And I think it's good sometimes when you do it here. I've seen a lot of guys. See, these are just the options that I'm talking about, right? They're not like really solid
it shouldn't be
things.
too
So
complicated or can be,
just
it depends on the taste.
simple. Yeah, but still you have only three options here, right? You can either go the first, third, or the fifth. The other option you have is which note will it be? Going into like, which note you want to be. Like, but let's keep it simple, like. Okay, you decide which one do you like, this one or the long one? How do you like?
Let's stick to short one for now.
Okay, done. All right. So
Next.
now we have our bass, we have our bass, we have our So the next part is again the same. We follow the same. We take the same thing, and yeah, it's like really amazing,
You're
Like it's like,
writing one code and you follow that code, you cannot go wrong. Following
yeah,
your taste, and you're still half in the cage, protected, half free to go anytime you want out, anyhow.
yeah, yeah. This is just the main core element, like the core musical idea that we are working on. So in this case also,
No, but you also follow your taste. Like you feel moving in the safe zone, you are
mhm,
still in the end casting the emotions, the way you feel, the way when you hear it.
yeah, of course. And here, see, now in this case, what we would do is now we want the root and the fifth, usually in this thing, okay? So you have your root notes here, right? D, B, G, D flat, I mean B flat and thing. So delete everything else and you pick the fifth again of this. So what would be the fifth of this? This is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, right? We have the fifth here. Now
Mhm.
this whole thing, now usually if you're into this octave like D1 and below, you are more in a bass zone. So here we are not trying to find a bass. We already have a bass. We already have a piano. Now piano, where does it sit in a mix? It's always something that is more central. So it would be something that is in your mids, right? So when you're bringing a string is an element that exists in the higher zone, kind of. So always put it like somewhere in the fourth octave, like, would be an ideal place for it. So for strings, we can still use the the wavetable. Let's try with this. Very well.
No reason just to get it fired up. You can leave that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it. Said I
See, also again, like coming back to my first point, right? Like I could use something and try replicating something, but when you have a little knowledge of history, right, like of music, there are certain synthesizers which were made for like making amazing strings. And one of those are the Solina, if you know, or even Prophet could do it. But one of my favorites is the Solina because it has just the right, it's like a famous string machine. So when you go here, see,
no reason just to get it fired up. You can leave that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it.
so yeah, we would go here, go into this like this classic string that I always use actually. Strings. Yeah, yeah, these are very good.
No reason just to get it fired up.
Okay, in this case, we are going a bit too
Too
high with
high.
the
Maybe
sound.
one up,
Yeah.
yeah, like the down.
No reason just to get it fired up. You can leave that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it.
Are we not in the fifth? First, second, third, fourth. Yeah, we are not in the fifth. That's what
Yeah,
I felt.
something is off.
Wait. See, so these are some things that, like by ear you have to catch when there's an error, like, but yeah, this comes over time. So we were just going to the fifth. Wait, delete all of this again. Sorry guys for confusing you all here, but so one, two. This is the second basically. Second, third, fourth, fifth. Yeah, this is what it is.
Yes.
No reason just to get it fired up. You can leave that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it. Said no reason just to get it fired up. You can leave that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get
So
it.
it creates this kind of a layer above all. We can even actually try with the chords, It's like same as the chords. Let's try once.
No reason just to get it fired up. You can leave that feeling when
Better, I
you leave
think.
me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it.
I know it sounds a bit incomplete right now, but it will fill up. So again, now is the time when in this moment is the time when I really start working on the drums, you know. So now in this moment, we got to decide, which direction we want to take this track. Now the main part of like turning into a dance track comes in where we really think, is this going to be a hip hop track or is it going to be a house track or will it be a melodic techno track?
Can go
So
anywhere
for
now.
this, yeah, but the thing is, you still now this decision, like you say, like, finding the right genetics. So this is where the first genetic comes in. So for me, I would like ideally go into a house vibe
You're choosing the
because I like,
genre now of electronic music. So
yeah.
now you can be anything.
I mean, it's a decision to be made. Now, this track can either be an Afro house track, it can be a melodic techno track, it can be a
This is
like, any track. So now the first thing, if I want to make a house track, I mean, I spoke about this earlier. What drum machine would you use? Obviously, the 909 because it's a classic house and techno drum machine, which has been used for like ideally for the main genetics. So yeah, this makes my life really easy in the direction of finding the right sounds. Just simple stuff,
to
I'm going to
test.
create.
It's a first casting going through this to feel the emotions
No, I know it
with
will
a
work.
history. Yeah, because this is history since 80s sound.
I know I want to make a house track, so the classic pattern. See, here to just distract this, I will just put this off now.
Yeah,
See, doesn't it like automatically resonate with you and it feels like, see, it's like, it's already,
fitting.
it's a house track. Yeah. So there's no need of experimenting like and going over the board. We can always come back to the sounds and like make them mix them and make them something special. Or find another 808 kick. But like I mean sorry, the 909 kick because there is a few packs where they have a bunch of the ones. But this one is really cool because it really does give you options. See, like
You
when
go
you come
faster.
back and
You
this
fast.
is the custom, this is the custom, this is the custom drum kit that comes ideally with Ableton. But I like to use, see here also they have like on the side, can you see these?
Yes.
These are like basically kind of settings that kind of see if you just listen to it in a solo. Okay. Can- This has a certain tone. This has a different tone. This has a different tone. So let's go with hot because we are
Let's
making like a
let's go with hot. I agree.
yeah. Yeah. So here again,
Can you
what
control
we
the
gotta do,
tail of the kick in this machine?
I will come to it. 1 second. So the first thing what we need to do is check the tonality of
Of kick.
the thing. So I'll again use Tonic, which is my go-to plugin to find key of something. We are in a F sharp. So this track was in a D minor. So how far away are we? See D, E, F, F sharp. So we are three semitones above. So what we need to do is drop three semitones down. So here, like we go. I'm just doing this one step at a time. So, it's like that.
No, it's
Like
very
I'm
easy
coming.
to understand.
You go into your audio effects and you have this thing called Spectrum, which you
Yes.
use, which does the same thing. Yeah. So you open it and here you can see
Yeah,
that you
it's
are
here.
in a. Yeah. So now this way we are in the right tonality from the kick perspective. Maybe just mute this and check it.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds good. I like it. So the second thing what I would do is I use this. There are different ways to do it. There's this plugin called Duck or Kickstart. I don't know which one. I think Kickstart is something that a lot of people are
Yeah, yeah. It's just
aware of,
you drop it almost
I drop it
to nothing.
on the, yeah.
A little
So
bit with the band, yeah, but it's already low. So
now what I do is I reverse the band. Like usually it opens up as a sidechain plugin, right? But
yes,
here, rather than using it as a sidechain plugin, I use it as a to decide the length of my kick. See, usually like see, it's like, and if I really want, I don't know if I should go into a more detail of it, but see, I have this plugin that I got called Oscillo Megascope, which kind of I put it on the kick. It's a little bit advanced stuff. So I can see a bit of what is happening with my kick. The same plugin I would take and I put it on my wavetable and I get to see. See, in this case, okay, now since it's a rolling bass line, I understand one thing clearly that there is a kick which is hitting at the same time as there's a bass kicking same time as a hit. So usually the best practice here, just like like without any plugins, without anything. See, sometimes it is better to do things without, like sounding good without trying to even touch it. Like, and then of course you can touch it and make it better. So everywhere there's a kick, I would like try to, just take it off. Again, this is something of a taste thing. So already there is a gap. So it makes it more easier on your side chain and your thing, especially when it comes to a rolling bass.
it still has a tail. The last
The
one,
kick,
yeah, no, the bass. So it won't be 100% empty. It has
yeah,
certain tail
yes,
because it's MIDI.
yeah, yeah. See, already it is sounding good, comparatively. Then maybe here we would start. Then here we could use another kickstart, for example, again. But what I've understood is that like these plugins, like the sidechain plugins, there are a lot of them that have a lot of latency as well. Sometimes they take time to kick in. And if you are on a good, if you have a not a very big budget, then I kickstart is fine. But if you have a good budget, like like if you have suit, this is basically a plugin that also kind of tames harsh sounds, but at the same time, it can be used as a plugin that side chains it like a side chain. I hope everybody is a little bit has an idea, everyone, like what a side chain usually does. So I would
Yeah,
side
of
chain it to
course.
my kick. Yeah. Side chain it to my kick, which is a 909. I want only the bass section of it to be affected. So I cut it only till here. I make the curve a bit more intense and I put the sidechain option on, which is here, and dial it up a bit, maybe harder. Yeah. Yeah. So
Left
this
and
is
right or
something.
mid and side? You add mid and side or you keep it left and right?
Here it's basically just affecting only the bass frequency. It's no mid. So I mean the bass is in the mid. So now this is applicable only to the the mono. There is no mid and side application here in this case. I mean, all this mid and side is something that we can enhance later, like in
Now,
the
what would
mixing
be the
stage.
difference if you use mode left and right and then you have mode mid and side? Maybe you can explain this.
Here in this case, I'm only using
The Suti
this
left. You see the mode on the Suti? This mode left and right in the left corner.
this
Left, left. Here,
mode
this.
left, right.
Yeah, this is now click and hear difference.
Yeah, mid side is more controlling it. You're right. Yeah.
This is
Why doesn't this close? It's very strange.
No problem.
Close window. Okay. That's how you close it. Because then it's just giving me like this close window. All right. So this also we can close. All right. So now we have our kick and bass already going. Like, okay. So now what I would ideally do is best is not to put the kick, because see, we are going to process the kick differently and the drums differently. So of course it is ideal. We could do it even here. Like Ableton is such an amazing thing that it could, like, once you open a kit, like completely, you can edit every parameter in it. But just to keep it a little bit more organized, let's just stick with this. So here in this new channel, I would cut all this and I would keep just the claps. For example, I like to build it over, I prefer building it over individual, always name it.
Make it black to follow the magic of production colors. Kick
The kick,
black, and bass make red, and clap. No, the clap is white. High frequency like the clouds up, and the bass
kick
red. Bass
bases.
bass is red. Full red. This one. The second, yeah. Vocal pink, as the same as piano.
Piano, vocal.
Piano, you can change and use the pink from the piano, and piano put something maybe blurrier, yeah, like this. Then we have the rainbow.
Okay, wow. See, you notice I've written over your Vox D minor.
Mhm.
I do this because it's like, you come back to the project. So it's very important, the small things, where you know where you are. You might open a project again later and might not really remember.
Just going
And
for a drink.
yeah,
You keep rolling.
Reason just to get it fired up. Reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling. I need no reason just. I need no
this is something that you would put up for later.
reason just.
So here also it's very important that, you control the length of stuff because it plays a very important role. Like we did with the kick. In this case, we have like this whole decay thing here available right here. So just go to the thing, to the selected thing, and you can.
No reason just to get it fired up.
Excuse
You
me.
give me, leave me tied up. You can get it if you need. I need no reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get.
Yeah. So now let's one time listen to it with the piano and the other elements that we had made. See, I noticed in this Vox, there is a little bit of a, like, things are starting before. So here you can find, maybe the best part about this is you can just go into this. This is one amazing thing also, where you go into the thing here, right here, and you do like Command E. So it cuts the thing. It's a good way. You could use it in a way like that. Yeah, right. Now things are like more gelling.
More, yeah.
And see, there was this part, Command E again, and
You
I'll
can
do the
take it
same.
back, yeah.
Yeah. So this way we have like, like the small things.
some room on the vocal
Mhm.
for us to be more pleasant, you know?
Yeah, I mean, right now we are just, like we could sit and yeah, it's better to just get the whole thing
And
and
then mix
then like, yeah.
and feel it. That's
It's,
follow your way. Follow your way. That's
yeah.
the point.
Yeah, it's just simple. I just want to keep it simple, It's like just the main thing is the idea. We can always make things better and always,
Totally
see,
agree.
even here for, yeah. See, now in this case also, now there is a moment of mixing, where the piano is like going too loud, then we again EQ it a bit. We don't want, hold on, what is this? We don't want the piano to be like, in your face. It's not in your face in this case. Minimum. Then yeah. So we have this. We just leave it here. Close window. Okay. See, in this case also, I would say again, I think better. One more strategy, what we can do here is for strings, maybe we go, since we are doing house, house is a very classic.
Keep the strings maybe for the break, for the emotions, not
No,
over
it
the.
just, see, for me, I use this, like it kind of, I use it so that it really helps me feel that direction, Without it, I really feel a bit. So I'll just see. So what I would do is I would just keep it into one note, which is like creating some sort of a. You can just have it in one note also in classic house music, they always have it,
Yeah, just cinematic.
Yeah. And this also, this kind of sound, what we have to do is, it's a bit harsh, right? Just cut the bass. And what I do is, I have this Valhalla. I use like the Valhalla shimmer because it just fills up those.
Spacey.
I mean, we could like scroll through a few. Yeah, something more like, Okay. So we have this section. Keep it very low. Yeah. So now it's very important. Safe. At
Oh
this
yeah.
moment, essential move,
Happens
So
every day to me.
yeah, magic of yeah. So we have this moment. Of course, we can work with the vocals more. Like, I could show like some of the cool tools I have. There's actually, I would love to share this very cool tool that I bought few days ago, and it was like mind blowing. I mean, there are a lot of topics I could touch individually, on some things, but it would take us like a very long
We
time.
can do in the second part of
Yeah.
the meeting.
Like, of how I arrange my stuff and da 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 la di da. So, anyways, here I have this Lander has this whole thing called a vocal chain, which you can just drop like this. See, you can try with it, without it. Can like jump through. Very beautiful. See, without it. In the mix now. Now there's a lot of things more with the vocal that I will show, like how I evolve it. Again, here with the snare, it's always good to again check the key. The moment you feel some sort of tonality, it's always a good idea to. So again, I'll use the spectrum, which is the in a G. So how far are we from a G? One more hack around this is, you know what? Just cut the whole tone only, like this. Because what is giving the tone is that little thumpy sound that is there at the end, which you can hear. If we just cut it out overall, I mean, we could use it just, okay, I don't think here there's a tonality now.
Yeah, now it's just a noise.
Yeah. One important thing we would come back again at this point to the volumes. These are the core elements which we'll build around. So we need to make sure, again, we go down to the basics again. And this is where you start a little bit of mixing, the whole idea. You look at your kick. Now at this point, I would EQ the kick a bit. So I would just go
Like space for the bass.
So I learned a lot of people like to use for the kick like a curve like this, but I've worked with some people and I've learned that usually people use this kind of a curve rather putting it down to 30 and like really putting it down or even going out to like 48, 72. So here you listen.
Let's hear the difference.
You want to see the difference?
Let's hear it.
Okay. So just this much, nothing major. It's a bit controlled now.
Yeah.
You can go up to 24 somewhere here.
Harmonically, you can start from D.
Yeah, D. D, yeah. Yeah, but you can go a bit more because human here
Then, yeah,
is it's
you
not.
feel it. You feel it.
Yeah, like you feel it, yeah. I think here is sounding good. And what you do is cut a little here, take the mud off very little bit, like up to 3 dB maximum.
Dynamic or normal?
Just here, because there are other sounds that are going to use, which are there in the mid zone, So here what we are doing is we are creating just some breathing space, like minute breathing space around this frequency, that when other sound comes, it doesn't smother it. So just take a little bit, like keep a curve a bit open. Now here for the click, usually people like to use more clicks. You can even sometimes do it like this.
Roar also can bring saturation or
Yes.
something.
Yes, that is what I was just going to talk about. So what I use is Ableton Roar, which is like really, really, really amazing.
The superstar.
Yeah. See, already
Without even doing anything, it's already sounding better.
Yeah, literally you don't have to do. And see, I wanted a click, right? A small click. So I'll just boost this frequency because I was searching for a click. So I'm boosting it in the high zone. So here you have like options, multi-band, parallel, So here I'm using multi-band and I choose to just like, push the frequencies in the high. I like to use a digital clip. You can like experiment with a few of this. Tube also sounds good, half. There are like, it's taste, again, how you want it to be. But I think in this case, I like this tube. It sounds very good.
It's the best.
See, now when you just compare it. Yeah, so already we are in a good zone with the kick. Okay, now I will just like, put this two things off. And then you guys see, you can see that I've not really cut any frequency, just here, like which is not even audible by the human ear. So I would group this with my roar. And you can see already now. No, sorry. There's nothing like it sounds very like they just made it sound more alive, you know. I also beyond this, I check the
peak, yeah.
yeah. I have a second layer of saturation that I use, which is in a send form. So it's a simple amp and
Parallel.
it's a pull tech. Yeah, parallel saturation. So just a little bit high is cut out, you know, so it doesn't get too harsh. So here again, but I watch here. This is like 7. So we can ideally you can go up to you can push it up to till it gets to 6 dB. Right, let's see. Yeah. Ideally, the best thing I would say to do is just cut the dry and wet to like at least 80%. We don't want to overdrive anything and over, you know,
Yeah, dry
you
wet
can see here,
always is
keep
better.
it in a good zone here.
With 100%, you hear more, you're aware of your adjustments, and then
Yeah.
you come down a
Yeah.
little bit, it becomes smoother.
Yeah. So here in this case, also a good thing to do is see now you know you're in 7.92. So just the basic shit. Again, just add an utility, simple, and 7, 8. So you can go up 2 decibel, I guess, right? It's like, yeah, this is fine. Maybe cut down this a bit more. Already the kick is like sounding very good from where we started, you know. See, yeah. And I think it's a good idea to put even this later, you know. Because just in case there is anything going more.
You can do both. I would do 2 times because then you change the signal before and the adjustments are not according. So this bring back and duplicate it after as well. Then because adjustments are then doing for the different input everything. So it's I would do it like this.
Just recheck that it's not.
Yeah, in the end, one more.
Yeah.
But let's hear the bass. We can hear the bass, then you will, you know, feel it.
And this bass is also, it's like right now it's just it's the sub bass, you know. There are more layers that would come above this, of course.
Colors, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the sub, actually.
Yeah, this is the sub. So when it comes to this, you can even.
No, my headphones are like shaking my earbones.
Yeah. Yeah. So
very nice, super cool relationship because you are using also already checked genetics. This is since decades.
Exactly.
Sure sound. Yeah. If you engineer, you know how to shape it, you can't go wrong.
Yeah. See, I'll show you one more example quickly, bro. Like, you know, just want to try it out. Here, you can take this whole bass thing here, okay? Just to try. I would put this here. But you can make a different pattern, you know, different pattern in this sense like what? Now you know the D is the first one, right? So you can just go here and be like, you know, let's play this with the, and be like, yeah, just like this, you know. For example, one more example besides for the rolling and the long bass, I would say, and then just follow it through.
To get a little bit more groovier character, not typical rolling, yeah. Adapting to the already, yeah, so bringing more groove.
I mean, now we know exactly where it goes, you know. That's the main part. Okay, can be more groovier in the house form.
Yeah. Now you give from here freedom for everyone to go more into their This is just the base to go sure, safe, and then you go crazy as much as you feel like.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, to be honest, there are not really, again, we are still in a box. There is not, it's either the plucky bass or it's the Reese bass or it's the rolling bass. So mainly there is like only three options of really having bass. Or
In,
some people like to use this in a call and response form also in some genres, But then what they do is they still have the same pattern and it's like, you mute some sounds and you exchange them with other ones. But yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
here
it's,
we have this version of it. It should ideally be.
You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it. I don't need no reason just to get it fired up.
I think this is the best way. This is the best, I would say. So just same. So replace the bass here. Now again, when it comes to the volumes, we come back to it. So here, usually, the best thumb rule is when you see something, when you see your kick should hit like somewhere here around 6, and your bass should be like right now it's hitting, like it should be at least somewhere between the 6 and the 12, which can be more.
yeah,
So
more.
simple. Yeah, and the simple thing is just like where we had reduced the volume, just simply.
No reason just to get it fired up. You give me that
Pushing now to push everything now.
fired up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it.
Now,
Now you need to push everything. Very
yeah,
nice.
but everything is already pushed. But here again, now we're just leveling up. If this 6, 7, 8, 9. See, 9, yeah, 3 dB under.
You give me that feeling when you leave me.
This vocals are
vocal.
very dry. This vocals. Okay, wait. Let's just first get this.
I would put
part.
definitely vocals louder.
No, but yeah, of course. But they'll be layered, So here also, I think I like this clap, but I feel it's a bit too heavy
Long.
on the ears. So I think here, see, best is to use the tools which are already on these devices. It's like I don't need to drop another whole equalizer just to, just reduce the latency, right? Also, so. See, it's already. So this kind of sounds when it comes to claps, I think if that was 9, this should be 12. Yeah. So of course, with mixing, you can like make it more exciting. See, I'm watching here, okay, basically. And I'm seeing it's between 12 and 18. The bass should be between 6 and 12. And all these sounds ideally should be between 12 and 18. It can be taste also, yeah, it's fine, but
Around.
yeah. See, like this can go a bit more harder. Yeah. Okay, we have this a bit. Sometimes you can't hear this, some of the sounds, but they're there, like, See,
Atmosphere.
without it. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
just.
Lifeless.
Yeah.
It gives atmosphere.
Okay. Again, save. And we have, so now we have a basic structure of a track going. Okay. This is the one time I'll play through this basic structure, maybe 5 minutes break we can take, bro.
No reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it.
One the piano bit.
No reason just to get it fired up. You give me that feeling when you leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it.
Yeah. Okay. Say 5 minute break. Yeah.
And this
5 minutes
vocal,
time.
it's only this. Do you don't have from the same singer something more?
Bro, I'll show you now how I do it. That's the fun. That's the now the fun starts, bro. Like once you
Sorry,
have the
sorry for spoiling the end.
yeah, you know it, bro. My game.
No,
One second.
it's getting there. I love it. This is a perfect, summer hit track. Like it's super easy to digest. It's a radio potential. It's
Mhm.
bar. It's can be a festival. Can be sunset. Can be sunrise. Can be in the
It's
car. It
it's
fits
a bit
everywhere.
overused, but man, that's the thing. This splice samples, that's the challenge that we face. That oh, I made a track and everybody this track, a really cool track I did with Nikhil. When I made it like a year and a half ago, I'd never not heard one track with that sample. Now I hear like 5 tracks at least, with those samples. So
If the universe
I mean,
wants you to find it, it will come to you, but doesn't matter. It's all about your vision of using that vocal. And many tracks are already reworked and retouched, and everything is a
yeah.
remix. Everything is a remix.
Actually, this no, but you know what really cool I learned from you? The cool part is like you take something like this, you have a kind of a rhythm, and you give it to somebody to sing something else over it, like that makes it
This is
like
what I
again,
do.
like I said, there is nothing original ever. Like,
Yeah.
like never. I mean, there was a good time, the golden era of music, but with the time of AI and all this automations, it's definitely not the same.
There are many ways to go around, and you
Yeah,
keep it
yeah,
that way, or rework, or put choir, or add more
yeah,
things. It's
yeah, of course.
But anyway, so now for now we keep this loop. So what would be next? Like some percussions, fixes obviously, and this
Yeah. No, now, yeah, of course. But first part is
vocal to
first
put.
yeah. So first thing I'll do is I'll put this off. Then I do is like make a MIDI track. Then what I do is I take the same vocal and put
Mhm.
it into the MIDI track. Okay. Now here I find like so you use like small things like this in the thing.
Start
So
cropping
you can
the main actor.
yeah, like so before this part would come in a different part altogether, right?
Yes,
This would come later.
you're
So
making
how will I
peak time now. Now
yeah,
preparing
now
to come to it.
yeah, now I'm like say like I extend this whole thing. Whatever's here. I just duplicate this. Wait, hold on. Duplicate, 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 duplicate. And what I do is here before okay, once I have this, I duplicate this whole thing also. Make it a bit longer. So already we are getting into arrangement, kind of.
Slowly,
So
bigger
here,
blocks.
yeah, here I'll wait. Here what I would do is I would just keep some fake drop. So just so my piano also would come much later. You know, I'll just keep it maybe here. And of course we have to hide it a bit, in the mix.
With the filter.
See again here, yeah, it's fine. So what I would do is first here, it's always good to play it, and see it more than can create like a rhythmic. See here in this case, we don't have a guitar.
You showed me also this machine live. This
Yeah,
you
but
just
many people might. This is also a bit more. But here in this case, I'm searching for a
old school.
here you can like this is also again taste. I'm just. you know, so you can even make it a bit longer to have an. And you can always fuck around.
Kind of.
And like,
This one is the
or you
best.
can, or you can do, you know what, one more thing is you can go into slice. And the same things which you have here, right? Just now you have once you did this, you created like a kind of a rhythmic pattern. You can like always fine tune this. Just go like maybe down. And you can just, it's all in key. So I think better was just that one, so it's always good to explore.
Yeah, I feel you. With splice you can, or you put this roser.
No, but here I wanted just one more specific, Yeah, just perfect what I needed. Like,
Precise.
I
Simple.
yeah, like precise, yeah, simple. And here also what we can do is, of course, you can like make it more nicer with a nice reverb and, like, sometimes better to do it with the vocals, and you can even find like, the better place. See, it's already like, these are not something which are in the front.
Play with the piano, let's hear how everything together. Maybe it's fighting with the piano, let's hear.
No, wait, let's hear it with the piano. Let's see how it goes.
Less delay, maybe.
Yeah. Now, one more important thing, what I would do is now I would mute the vocals. Okay. Now, this is also very weird part, but like it's a very important part that it really, So, usually, what I do is in this moment, I just go and, like find some, like go through some random Ableton Ableton drums. Like something very random which has more percussive sound. Let me just. Yeah, something like this. And I find some sound which I like. It's like very subtle, but like like just some. You will not even hear this, but now see when you.
Little small groovy touch.
These small things like this really do make a big difference. Therefore, now one more trick which I can show you is uh, since we were making house, right? There were, if you really learn the history of drum machines, right? There was like what they were basically rhythm composers, as you would call them. So this guys from Roland have a very beautiful emulation of all these amazing drum machines. So can even show you what a 909 looks like. This is what it looks like, right? So what I do here is I just cut the level of the bass drum because we have the bass drum already. And maybe I don't like this rhythm. Okay, I will take it off. Rather than going through like endless sample packs and finding the right top, stick to I think the best thing is to just stick to
Classic.
the genetic, of it. And it's amazing. You have like a lot of patterns here also. You can see here.
And you can edit each and make your own as well.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah.
But here our main goal is, not to be.
Housey.
Yeah, that's it. Simple. Because this is not something which is, again, no one's going to remember it, So there's absolutely no point of,
To give the speed.
yeah, to spend so much energy into it. The main energy should be spent in that chord progression, I would say, the main thing that can really make or break a track, is that chord progression and the rhythmic patterns. Okay, yeah. Okay, we have it. Now this doesn't really, give you a. So here I think even the clap we can remove. See, it's very simple, this whole thing, you can easily just like, yeah, this is a top pattern that I really like. So audio from classic 13. This is one really cool trick which I'm going to show you now after this. Okay, we have this, can delete this, and here. What I do here is this thing called extract this groove. Now once I have this, the groove extracted, what I do is I go put it on all of these.
Which one?
So
You
these are,
took from the Roland one or?
yeah, so basically what I did is I like basically recorded that Roland thing and I extracted a groove from it,
Okay.
which I will apply now to
Other
my
guys.
hats here. My hats here. Hold on. Sorry. But to this whole thing, if I go here, I can put a groove, audio one. And now everything is like then even if we don't use these chords in the end, it's absolutely fine. You know, at least we had a good direction with the bass. Yeah. Your mic is off, bro.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I'm saying just to it's yeah, you can have it just for the break, maybe use it, maybe not. It's just there to
No.
navigate you for potential
Yeah, it's a navigator. Yeah, proper. Like
potential
you.
cheesiness where you can
Yeah,
go
yeah.
and direction to follow.
But no, but we will because see, I'll just save this here. Wait, sorry. I'll just save this here so later we don't lose it. But see, what we can do here is now we have that we have this chords, right? First, I'll just like fold it so it's like more clear. Then what I can be is like what I can do is take this same like we did it with that. Let's see, like
You bring the groove to the chord progression.
see. Maybe here we delete this, duplicate this. But you see, right? Like now it's just like cool. And maybe make a variation here with the last three notes. Then it sounds like something like this. You get it, right? The pattern comes in like. Mm. See, it's like already we have the parts. I mean, this is like again very what you say taste. Like you can like make different patterns how you feel the track, of course, with the freedom. And yeah, this is the same. So copy
Becoming
this.
more and more classic house music track.
Here also we can follow this a bit. So you can like it's like you can you can see you can like evolving. This is again also something that we can play around with, like something like. So I have this like a lot of random effects creators or like just multi effects which I use also. Like you can use something like this. There are some very cool things which you can do. Like like here in this case, like I have this one pitch thing which is on all my MIDI things. So ever if I want to like pitch something like directly up, I've set up 3 instances. Here on the piano I can, or I can yeah. Usually I would say like experiment a little with this piano also. We have the chords, but we still have the what to say. Usually it's a good practice to go this with the bass, the same pattern as the bass. So usually that's why you make the piano thing first. In this case, we made a long piano, but usually it's better you put like, uh like a different pattern. But no worries. They're still sounding good. Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
you can use this beat trick with beat mode to clean a little bit the tail of this shaker.
Of this, yeah, but we
Yeah,
can just go here and go to beats and transient it a
yes.
bit and then apply its own groove to it. See, without the groove, if I put it off, still like suddenly you
That,
feel like things are moving.
that's these tiny things that are people are ignoring to do.
Yeah, but it's very micro, and you can see I've not used any groove pool. I've just used something that feels like has a drum pattern from the thing, from the 909 emulator. Okay, now let's take it to the next level. Now here the same way we have the bass, just duplicate your bass again. Use probably like Diva. Depends. You can use Diva, you can use Serum, and we test with this. Yeah, search for some bass. This one I like. So now, of course, our sub frequency now has been taken by that other sound which we created as a sub before. So basically, just you got to take all of this and put it one octave above. Of course, you can still take it again one up. This really, that is why I made this pitch thing, because in this case it always helps, like, speeds up the process. You can, this is happening because over here just basically just have to copy this bass synth. Here, what I would do is also put a shimmer. One shimmer and very little bit, like this. Something more we can do is like just to try. You can turn this into a sampler and you can just go here and you can change the mode to this where it hits back, to the thing. So find something interesting here, you can always search. Okay. Then maybe just start here. This sounds very silly and sometimes I listen to it, but sometimes it helps you find something, you know, something's yeah.
Can you make it in a loop there, precise loop, or it's random?
Yeah, just to get an idea, you know.
To catch, then you can put it, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm asking, can you make it in a loop there now? Precise loop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you see the...
See, you can just see here just first person. See, but still I can get more choppy stuff, you know.
The beginning is not on point. The on the... Oh, yeah.
So there's a variation in the pluck, you know, also.
Yeah, I think you are not on point. That's why it's not coming. The flag,
Because,
the cue point.
yeah.
The cue point, like, if you zoom in on the beginning, you see, like, if you go a little bit in the... Yeah. Now what?
See, we use those two different layers, you know, now.
Yeah, it gives more complexity.
It also
Fill in the groove. And then you come with some, only one word. You extend the note,
yeah.
so you
Now the possibilities are, you know, now your brain will open to just use the C. So what we are doing is we are using that same sample, but we are like using it in like, you know, different, so that way you're not going too far away from, you know, the genetics. It's not too overly colorful. It's not
Yeah.
like, you know. And these are just fill sounds, you know. So it's like small, but then it does matter, you know. So you can even okay, so this part is done. See, now we have a okay, now I'll show you one more trick. Candyland. Okay, now I have this, right? Wait, so here, wait, where's my synth bass? Is my synth bass? Okay. like. So I'll again, first of all, see here again, before we do anything, we have to make sure that our synth bass doesn't have any bass frequency, right? So I'm just gonna quickly EQ it. We've still not got into any major mixing.
Yeah, sure.
You are the professional when it comes to this. Well, as I'm still your student, even though, but yeah. Yeah, can just close this and also see here is when I understood this is a better option,
Yeah.
And really see, it's like
Glue is easier.
sounds more natural.
It has resonance a little bit.
Yeah, here we can just drop soothe. Also, of course.
I like the resonance, but maybe it's maybe too much.
Here.
Yeah, or this. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just like,
Put mid inside always. It's better. In this case, when it comes to energies.
Yeah, but this part we need a bit distorted, it's always good. Because I guess it like sticks, and of course we can EQ it here.
Can be many things. Dynamic EQing, sidechaining. You can stick to classic control. This is just basics.
Yeah, so anyways, this is the point of just taking that thing out of there.
So what you did now, you brought the...
Now, yeah. So here I have a Max for Live device that I'm going to share, which is like one I use a lot also. It's called random chord generator. So earlier, like, we did something where we didn't like, really feel the chords, it's like trial and error. So you can always go here.
To feel it now.
Oh, no, this is not the one. Chord generator. This is the one. So what you do is we are in a minor, right? We go just go minor. And what we can do is always, I realize that it doesn't. So this amazing tool called Scale. Just to make sure that whatever any of the randomizers, it's always a better thing to put the scale thing after, because just in case there's a random thing. So we were in a D minor. And let's see what this generator gives us. Maybe we can go more up. And of course we maybe now we are not searching for a bass, so better to search for a more of a key. Can find something, more.
They're all good.
Yeah, but it's like, and then, yeah. That's it. Yeah, so this is like a choice thing, you know, like really with the
But what about this chord randomizer? Can we hear more variations? How it works? How you came to
of
this?
course.
With and without?
I mean, it's just randomly generating a chord bit, but I
Is
can
it
show you.
already doing it or?
See here? Yeah. It directly does it once you hit it in minor, but here you can always go inward. You can get like many
But
different, you know.
how it's followed by? Are you doing the MIDI notes on the same?
Yeah, the bass notes. On the bass notes, I just put it on the third.
It's creating chords. Okay, so.
Yeah, see, this maybe. So same thing I can do, you know, what's the amazing part? Now with my
Can you add
piano,
more? Only 3, or can you add 5, 6, 7?
I'll do this to the piano. Okay. And the same thing, if I apply to the piano and I put this, wait, I'll copy this also to the piano. So earlier, wait, here, I usually just don't try doing anything because I've realized that the main, it already gives you a perfect sound that you need, you know.
Yeah, we
I mean, there
already.
are some, see, I'll show you some other ways as well. Okay. Hold on.
You
But
already
then it's
had
like,
it. It was just like to.
yeah, but the thing is, I didn't put anything more, you know. So if I really want to go back to it, see, there's really nothing, man. Just like, you know, Max for Life. I just go random chord generator before my scale. And bro, just pick minor, done. Then it's so really,
Coming from somewhere else.
yeah, there's something.
Maybe the MIDI. Check the MIDI.
Oh, it's fine.
And you are now on C. I can see.
B minor.
No, and it's C there on the random chord
No, that's
generator.
okay. No, that's fine. That's basically the tuning. See, if I put a, again, see this tonic, we can use tonic to check if we are correct or not. But it can't be off. See, it's just this patch, this synth. Synth is a bit.
Let's go with this one.
You know, one more cool idea. I mean, there's a lot, there's so many ways to work, you know. There's always hit and try with a lot of things.
Course.
So even one more way that I like to work is if I go here, okay, I just like copy the whole box thing. So what I can do here is Command J. It's a cool trick.
Consolidate.
And do like extract groove. Fuck, the jam session, we should go live, bro. This kind of shit, it'll be fun. This is so
Definitely.
different from your this is so different from your vibe of working, bro. It's just like, I don't know, it's just funny, bro.
That's
But
the
then a
point.
mix engineer can do.
It's that's the point of variations for people to have who wants to see how you can make house track in just literally 1 hour. If you don't talk
Yeah,
and explain, things can be done in 30 minutes. You can come to this point.
yeah, of course. But it's try, like, but see, the main thing is the musical idea is like centering us to the, even if we want in the end, we can just chuck the vocals.
You're testing, giving some options, and this is just the first
Yeah,
session. It's your
yeah. It's just there's like different ways of doing different things. And this is some tools that I use that really help me, really. Like this chord generator, for example, is amazing. I love it. It's like
everything so far was a perfect template to a top house track.
the basics are there, bro.
The recipes,
Yeah. And it's actually so simple, bro.
very
So,
simple.
so what I'll try doing is maybe I'll take the Vox
It's
and then
flexible
I'll
way
drag
to
this.
it's flexible way to follow your taste through that concept.
Yeah. These sounds can be more stronger actually.
Definitely. This one the MIDI notes are not on point. You need to a little bit quantize or no, but if you quantize, you lose the original groove of the vocal. So how you will deal with this now?
No, I've not used the groove. I was just trying something. It didn't really work.
It was close though.
Yeah, it was closer. But we are using this groove anyways, bro. So it's okay. Need a lot of reverbs. Like this can be a bit like very wet. So you can use RC20 also just for now. I don't know if people have used this on vocals, but I'll use it anyways. Just for fun.
It gives.
Then see, that's where these pillars come in place. I have to put the same thing on this, So I'll just copy the vocal thing here. I would just copy this.
I
Command
think
C.
you're very close to the last final main lead actor, the lead synth, and it's already enough material for the arrangement. At least
Yeah.
first arrangement.
And now we can make the lead, like as you say. Okay. Now this is where what I said, learning
One
one
by one.
one scale is like always helpful. So here we'll go to serum. So yeah, what I do is I put a pitch. Pitch, MIDI effect. Pitch. Now I know the F, right? The track we are doing in is a D. So see D, E, F. D sharp. So here I'll go. How far is it? Now if I press a D, it should press an F. So D, E, F sharp, 3. So now this should be an, let's just quickly check with with tuner. Yeah, coming D. So I'm pressing an F, but it's showing me a D now because I went -3. So I know the scale of F, right? Like completely. So now I'll go to here, search for lead, find something you like. That's all. Just to find something. So simple, like can make a scale of. See, it's always better to write this with your hands because then you feel like a melody, like or whatever, because that's what really for me makes it sound more good. This is too melodic techno, I would say.
Yeah, let's stick to some housey vibes.
I'm gonna find some house vibes. Okay, here. Now fine. Let's just make it normal. Just, like I won't complicate it more. You just put it in a D minor, which is a scale. It should be somewhere here between 4 and 5. Okay, so this is something which will remain constant, right? So now you make one more of this and maybe pick another sound. Very strange, sometimes you play something and it's like I'm playing a D, but it's showing me an E. So this is one of the things which I learned was like really a bit weird in a lot of synthesis. That is why it's always nice, to just always put a thing here. You never know. Okay. You just take something, for example, here. Then we can always change the, so you do this. Now the best part about here is if you press command and you click the other thing, it even shows you that. So you can just maybe change the color of this to this. So it's like a different color. Okay. So like, wait, hold on. This is the pink one, which is sorry.
It sounds like marimba. Marimba.
It's just like a something, So then when you pick both, wait, this has to be another color. So why is it changing both? Anyways, just for now, blue, green. So when you go to the, is this copied or what? Wait, delete this from everything from the green. So when you have the green and the blue, you can like, like play with it here. So here we want green. It's the other way around, I guess. And then we were again we go back to the chords. And we are basically in a piano. If you look at all the bass, you know where you are always, So we are D, B flat, and G. D, B flat, G. So go like, see, this will remain constant, one sound. You were in a D. And then we were in a B flat. We were in a this, and a what G. Or you can do like, you're a D till here. And you're in a B flat here. So same like how you're doing here when you speak to it. Okay, you can. That's why like it's let's see how we're generating it. This can be like, this is a third of it. This. This can don't have. The vocals. Wait, there's some delay here, I think. But you get the drift, right? Like what I'm doing.
Definitely.
Okay.
It's
You can
getting there.
always,
You can change the character. You're just now writing the lead code emotion.
Exactly. Of course, bro. It's see this vocals and this lead will not really come at the same time, you know. That also is a I can Yeah, something like that, Maybe, of course, you have to find the right sound. But this is still just one way of I produce, There's like a little bit few different ways, but here you can edit it always. You can make it like this here. We can now get into arrangement, actually. Yeah, let's get into arrangement so it's more. So here again, arrangement simple, like not so simple for me for a long time, but somewhere here. So I have like 1 minute. I stick to the code usually. Generally, it's the 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute. Here there's a break, 4 minute, 5 minute. So I think from here to here we'll cut it. Extend it till here. Bada bing. 1 minute, 2 minute. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like kind of roughly the track would be as long as 6 minutes, I guess. Roughly, we could always edit it. This bass part that I have here would start here. Yeah, exactly here. Yeah, or maybe we'll just start with the bass that goes on till here, the sub bass. The main bass would like come in. Yeah, this bass also actually let's bring it at 17. This piano is which one now? Yeah, so it come here, this piano. Or even here. This piano is. So yeah, we need one piano which like rolls throughout, right? So let's just keep this also, fix this. Then I'm just extending the same chord that we had. Oh, let's do. So, yeah. Did we fix it here? Yeah. So just I'm gonna extend this again. This is the rhythmic piano. You know, because it will open from here. From here, this will go here. This was the works. Okay, wait. For now, let's just keep the vocal part a bit. Strings would be like throughout, I would say. I love the strings. Clap would somewhere. You start with the clapping style. This is your this hat. Start this also here. Second hat, open hat would come somewhere here. 49. So this would be your first drop. 49 onwards. So let's take it here. These are the vocal chops that we got. Start coming here. I'm just arranging like it's in my head the idea, and then we take it from there. So, yeah, maybe this would be throughout. Today I'm like just focusing on a little bit composition rather than like detail. There's of course we can always work in parts and the- so here again with the bass, what we have to do is, of course, we will not put the whole thing, just let's just use the first part, which is the root here, the first bass part. So this first bass, like we can even start like this, and I'll just color this a bit different. So I know. Came with this, of course, just keep this part. Again, I will just put it in some other color. And then from here, I think we should start our full piano journey. Yeah. So we'll pull into this. And then from here. And in the break would be, I think, piano also. Let it come here. Box here. In and out. Clap going all the way till here. It's pre-break, we'll take a break here. So we'll cut the thing out.
I have feeling I'm on double the speed on YouTube.
Or
Yeah.
double speed.
Double the speed in real time.
Yeah. But I've improved. What do you think, bro? From my first day one to now, there's like, you see, bro, my whole journey.
You know what they say in movies? Show, don't tell. You are showing it. You don't need to tell anything.
See. Now let's try. Wait, let's put this here. Wait, let's even this let it come here. like sounding like the- here also what we can do is, of course, we are missing like some stuff. Again, it doesn't sound. See, I'm not using a reference track because this was more of a generative class, like composition class, like general idea, like how to just start going in a direction. But yeah, of course, if you go to splice, you go to like drums, and you put like top, you get like a lot of.
You're searching for tops or in general?
I'm searching for like tops, yeah, kind of drums. I guess that would come under, right? Instrument, drums, loops. So one of the cool sample banks which I really found was this Oliver Power. It has like just the right uh, sound like this. Exactly. Maybe just take this part. Again, we have to be between. Then again, we can find like something, wait, not drums, but we need to find something which is like a string now, which can help us also. Usually I don't find any synth like more closer to this organic ones, which are there. So we go D minor. Just to make sure this is low. Well, let's find something.
No reason just to get fired up. You and me, that feeling, leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it. No reason just to get fired up.
See, already we are now.
No reason just to get fired up. You and me, that feeling, leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it. No reason just to get fired up. You and me, that feeling, leave me tied up. You can get it if you need it. You can get it when you need it.
So yeah, I take that part out here, which is this. What is this? Take this just till here. Like, yeah, the vocal would just come back in here. Oh wait, hold on. we just use it here. So it's a lot of planning, like now I have these sounds also. So I can just start putting them also here. This would come all the way till here for sure. This portal you've used ever? I don't know. Experimenting a bit. I think we need another clap also. That's sometimes it's good to mix up. It's like mix up this 808 clap also, which is in this style. Sometimes a lot of people have been doing, even though it's hip hop, because I guess it's like a bit crispy. I mean, all these topics can be really, about like sounding, making your claps good, like. Same thing.
The beauty of that session it's that it's not scripted and you really showed it in real time. You just found, you didn't plan anything, so you just found the sounds on the go.
Yeah, true, bro. It's a
And
bit
if you
like,
prepare, you it feels, people feel it, it's prepared. That's why this is wow, because it came from one direction, second direction, third direction, fifth direction. In the end, you showed more flexibilities to use this workflow as a template,
yeah,
but everyone
yeah,
can put their own vision. But it's a way to be safe. You cannot go wrong,
yeah,
and you can
yeah,
express in this way emotionally
yeah,
through your starting chosen vocal.
yeah,
Someone will watch the session and take three things from you. Someone will copy 90%, someone will copy 40%. But even if they copy 100%, they will be themselves in this copying.
yeah,
They will never
yeah,
be you, or it's that's why
yeah,
it's the beauty of that workflow is that you can really stay in safe, full freedom, protected way from music point of view,
yeah, yeah.
music theory point of view. You are following some structure, but you are still very, very
Mm.
free to go, but you are protected. This is where
Mm-hmm.
people will feel comfortable to use that technique.
Yeah, yeah, bro.
Because
True.
again, you can add more, or you can still start feel emotionally, talk to yourself and feel
Mm.
emotionally about this all mid-range decisions. And then you can, as you mentioned, you can work with musician. Maybe some real bass guy will be like, let me do it.
Mm.
But you already came to the moment you wrote the mood board. Or
Yeah, yeah,
if you go deeper, if you want to make a pop
yeah,
song from this, you can make a
yeah,
pop song, rock song, everything can
yeah,
be. So
yeah,
but this is such a good track. I was like tripping for 3 hours, like, and
yeah.
the
It
mid
was
range
sick.
killed me. The mid range and the beat
Mm.
and the kick and the bass are so good.
Yeah,
Melodies, everything. Now the piano should come.
yeah,
Harmony, tension.
yeah. Yeah, like something like that. You need more. Need better chords, bro. You need better chords also, bro. Chord progression.
The respect comes.
Yeah,
This guy knows. Oh, Zeeqar, what a producer. So you're a little bit like first time in your career opening a little bit your doors, and trust me,
Yeah.
it's time. You don't be scared. You are ready. I tell you. And it's
Good.
you will never be ready, but you are already. You know what I mean? So never wait to be
Yeah.
perfect. It's just share the way you
Yeah.
feel. And this is what
Yeah.
since I started the channel, I also felt like, am I ready? I'm not. In the end, bro, you just start and figure out on the go. It looks very professional, the way you have all your tools, the way everything is named, all your organization folders. You know your things. People, this comes,
Yeah.
the promoters, many, because when you impress producers, they talk to the promoters, the respect is spreading around. You made the track in front of the world right away.
Yeah.
No script, no script.
Yeah. Things. Yeah.
Because next session would be finish the arrangement, the sounds already every day. You already have to have the lead sound and
Yeah.
automations.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
work with
True.
automation movements and finish it in 2 hours should be ready. And doesn't in one version. Then we can then do another version if you feel like, but don't experiment too much. Do one version next.
I would just change that bass to a long bass, bro, because that fits more easily in this kind of stuff,